Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with atbbq.com, and this is Turkey Cordon Bleu. But today I want to explore with you a little alternative turkey recipe for your Thanksgiving dinner. We're talking about turkey cordon bleu. Now you may be familiar with chicken cordon bleu. This is a dish with a French name that was invented in Switzerland, which is a little bit confusing, but you guys all know what this is. We're talking about, it's basically a pounded piece of meat, a schnitzel style, that's breaded and filled with ham and cheese, and either pan fried, baked, or deep fried. So we're gonna do all of that, but instead of chicken today, we'll be using turkey. Typically, if you go to the grocery store to buy just turkey breasts, you're gonna get this, a bone-in section of the turkey breast with a little bit of backbone. What we need out of this though is boneless breast, so we're just gonna break this down. I don't need the skin for this cook today, so I can peel that back. And then what I wanna do is I'm just gonna find this breastbone right here in the middle, cut on either side of it to remove the breast from the body cavity. We'll just follow that rib cage all the way up to the top. You're gonna get the tenderloin connected with this. Sometimes you can use that in this recipe, sometimes it doesn't work out. We'll kind of know as we get this butterflied and pounded out thin. So there's one of the breasts removed. There's that tender that we were talking about. We're gonna take this and butterfly it out further and then pound it thinner. Just keep that knife right there on the rib cage and work your way toward the neck. Peeling that out of there. Now we don't need to waste the rest of this. All of these bones and what's left here on the rib cage and that backbone, this is all great for making your turkey stock, for doing turkey gravy or whatever else you need it for around the holidays. So you can save that and cook it down with some aromatics. So I'm gonna clean this up just a little bit, get rid of any fat or skin around the edges, especially this silver skin right here. Nobody wants to chew on that. But as we look at this, we're gonna look at this side with the tender and how it just kind of naturally wants to flop out like that. And what we can do here is come into this thicker side and we're just gonna butterfly that out. So just keeping the knife even with the cutting board horizontal. Don't cut all the way through it. We just open it up, so now everything's on a pretty similar level, and we can just gently pound this out to get it a little bit thinner. So just fold that tender out. Sometimes it wants to come disconnected, and that's okay. You can either throw it in later or just completely remove it. But we'll come to this thicker side, keeping the knife level again, not cutting all the way through, but making everything nice and even. Now we're ready to pound these out. I'm gonna hit the surface with just a little bit of oil so it moves easier and doesn't stick and tear so much, which also is a possibility and also isn't going to ruin your day if that's what happens. But I like to find a big bag or a big piece of plastic that you can put over the top. This way you don't have bits of turkey or chicken or whatever you're cooking flying everywhere. And then we're gonna take a meat mallet, using the soft side, we're gonna very gently, not just pound it out, but kind of push things in the direction that we want them to move so that we can thin this out and keep it even. You gotta really be careful with that tender. It wants to disconnect right there, so we're not gonna work it too hard. But again, you wanna move directionally, not just straight down, but pushing to try and move things where you actually want them to go. Now we're tenderizing, but we're also evening this thing out. And I'll be happy with it when it's between 1/4 and 1/2 inch thick. All right, we got that second one pounded out nice and thin. Now we're gonna do a little marinade, a quick marinade on our turkey breasts. I'm gonna unroll these so we get all of the surface area we need. And then we're gonna hit this with the Smoke on Wheels barbecue marinade, which you're thinking about flavors. This is essentially lemon, garlic butter with thyme. And those are all wonderful things as far as savory applications go, but especially, I mean, with a chicken cordon bleu or turkey cordon bleu in this case, all flavors that work really well together. Let the acidity from that lemon kind of start to tenderize on the outside there. And this doesn't need to sit long. 30 to 60 minutes is plenty. Now that our turkey breasts have soaked in the marinade, we're ready to assemble our turkey cordon bleu and get it all breaded. We're gonna start with about 2 cups of breadcrumbs here. If you wanna use panko, you can. I like the finer crumbs for this, but that's really just a preference thing. I'm gonna take these out one at a time. Want to try and be careful not to let them fall apart. But the good news is we don't have to worry about all this excess marinade on here, because we're actually going to use that to get our crumbs to stick. And it's going to add a lot of extra flavor to the inside. So the inside I want to hit with some seasoning. We're using the Cattleman's Grill Trail Dust all-purpose seasoning. It's very similar to a brisket rub with some extra spices added, like mustard, dill, parsley, and thyme. We're going to come in here to the middle with our ham, do a couple slices. We do a little punch of flavor here with some Dijon mustard on top of the ham. Then we hit it with our cheese. 2 slices of Swiss cheese, and then the greatest Swiss cheese there is, Gruyere, right over the top. Now we just have to fold this thing up. So I'm kind of going to treat this thing like it's a burrito. We could go like this and just fold it in half, and you know, it's going to ooze out the sides. It's probably going to ooze out the sides anyway. I'm going to tell you, I don't think there's a wrong way to do this. I just think there's different ways to do it. So like I said, we're going to kind of treat it like it's a burrito almost, and just roll it over, or a roulade kind of thing. But now we've got this turkey breast fully coated in these breadcrumbs and all of that flavor and goodness inside. We're just going to move this over here to our parchment lined pan, put the seam side down so that any leakage that happens is going to stay right underneath it or come out the ends, no big deal. But that's it. That's ready to go on the grill just like that. Second one here is coming together. We don't have quite as much surface area, but we're going to make it work. Roll this right over. Roll it tight. And make sure that we've got full breadcrumb coverage on the outside. And again, just place it on the parchment seam side down. All right, we're ready to go to the grill. But today we're cooking on the Yoder Smokers YS640S pellet grill. It's running at 400 degrees with pecan pellets. We're gonna go right up here on the second shelf by the stack. I like the color that I get from all that air that moves so quickly out right here. So that's why we're placing it up here today. We're also going to get a probe in just to monitor the internal temperature, which we're aiming for about 155 to 160. Our turkey cordon bleu's been on for about an hour and 10 minutes now. We're getting temperature readings on both of these anywhere from 155 to 165. So we're ready to pull our turkey cordon bleu off. You can see we lost some cheese in the process, which is totally fine because it actually gives us some really nice cheese skirt around the outside. Still totally edible, and we kind of overloaded it with cheese anyway. Let's slice into it now and see how we did. We've given this a good 15 minutes to cool down a bit. These are so much larger than a typical chicken cordon bleu that I feel like the best way to serve them is just sliced like this. Kind of family style on a plate. Everyone can grab as many slices as they like. Well, there we have it. Kind of get your pinwheel of turkey, ham, and cheese stuffed in the middle. I've got some baby arugula we're going to serve this on top of. It's very simply dressed in just a Dijon vinaigrette, little olive oil, Dijon, lemon juice, and honey. And we'll plate this up. Presentation style. Just 2 turkey breasts from 1 turkey there, and that's a pretty good spread to feed a small crowd. All right, let's get a taste. I get some ham, I get some cheese, get some turkey. Ooh, boy. It's really nice with the turkey, especially if you're a turkey fan. The flavor's a little bit different than the chicken, but being such a similar piece of meat, it works out really nicely. I love that I'm tasting just a hint of that Dijon on top of the ham. Now the ham itself has got good bite to it because we chose a thicker cut smoky ham, but that, along with the crunch on the outside of the turkey and that creaminess from the cheese, and let's not forget that marinade. I'm tasting all that garlic, all that thyme, all that lemon. This is a really fun, savory application to kind of switch up the way you're doing your turkey this holiday season. But honestly, it'll work any time of the year because it's cordon bleu. It's always good. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out atbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to atbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.